So what are we giving the people?
Um, Honestly, I feel like in the wake of many, female rappers, I just want to give just rap, like no gimmicks,
What have you
no.
been up to?
Um, well, honestly, I've been working on my second project. Technically my third, but it'll be my second project to the public. I've been working on that, trying to just get a.
So what are we giving the people?
Um, Honestly, I feel like in the wake of many, female rappers, I just want to give just rap, like no gimmicks, many, female rappers. I just want to give just rap, like no gimmicks, no depending on a look, no depending on um a core fan base or
Yeah.
just just politics aside, just I just want to give just rap, literally just that.
Okay. So would it be kind of just like, do you think this would be one of the first projects where you really like, are you meaning like this is going to be a project where you do what you want to do, period? Like it's not really for everybody, like what everybody thinks. It's just kind of like, this is what I'm doing.
Right. I just definitely want to let it be, if it stands for anything, I just wanted to stand for my growth as an artist. Just from, one project to the next, I feel like every single release is supposed to, at least in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
some songs are just fun songs, some singles are lead singles, and some projects are statement makers. And for this project, I just really wanted to just show my growth. On Middle of Madness, a lot of those songs were just really old, but they were just too good in my opinion to just not release.
Yeah.
So when the project got released, that didn't really show where I was in real time.
Right.
It just showed some of the things that I was capable of. But with this one, I just wanted to show where I am in real time, mentally, physically, and in the ability to be a artist.
So how long had it been that year written Middle of Madness, and like how long had it been since your last project and then putting it out?
Um, hadn't when I dropped Middle of Madness, I hadn't released a project in 2 years.
So
Well,
those.
maybe about, yeah. I want to say when I first started rapping, I released the EP like, I want to say 6 months within me declaring myself as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say it was rushed, but it was definitely put together really fast. When you're a new artist, it's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes of releasing a project that
Mm-hmm.
you don't know yet. So you just think it's like, okay, just make the music, release it with a cover, And so as I was going and learning new things as far as like finding a good distributor and getting a hold of all of my artist pages and getting things done business wise, and a lot of the things I was learning for the background and the business side of the industry I was learning, and that's kind of what halted more music from me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was Middle of Madness was just like songs that were written over the course of time.
Yeah.
They weren't really meant to be put together. Those were just songs that I wrote individually, and I was entering a new phase in my career where I was getting seen more, I was getting heard more, I was getting more shows, and I just needed to update my catalog.
Right.
So Middle of Madness kind of helped me, make a statement to say I've grown and here are some good things that y'all haven't heard. However, it just really didn't attest to, how much of an artist as far as my skill and my talent level. It didn't attest to where I was in real time in those aspects.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know I've already said this, but I definitely couldn't tell that those songs weren't supposed to be together. So I really feel like that just proves even more that you're doing what you're supposed to do, dog. Because Nobody could tell but you. But
Yeah.
the thing is too is that like I mean with artists it's always at least like for me and the stuff that I create too, there's always something that we think of that we could have done differently or that
Hmm.
we were like, like this could have been good here too. So I'm excited for this next project because I know like with this one, I'm assuming that you're going to take even more time than you did with your first project. So I'm excited. Um,
Me too.
when are you estimating that being out?
um, the I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? The impulse in me, because I'm a very impulsive person. The impulse in me wants it to come out before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Just because I see a lot of the A-listers and B-listers, they're dropping their albums. And I just, for me, in my head as an artist, I don't see a difference.
Yeah.
Just because they've already got their critical acclaim, I still don't see a difference. To me, I just see, okay, my peers are releasing and I want to release too.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick to my own timeline and I won't promise end of year. But ideally I don't want it to release any later than top of next year within the first 2 months.
You might could give us a little Christmas gift.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I think, I'm pretty impulsive too, so I kind of just feel like whenever people feel ready to do it, just do it. But I know
But
that
yeah.
like once you get more involved in like putting out projects, it's like more things involved than just
Yeah.
like you said, there's more things involved. So, I don't
Yeah.
know. You're better than me, man. I'm not the strongest soldier. I just,
I feel you. It
it's
takes a
fun.
lot. It's fun. It is.
But yeah, so I'm again, I'm real excited for you. You mentioned earlier too that you released Middle of Madness when because you wanted to update your catalog, and that's when you had finally started calling yourself a rapper. What gave you that push to really say, yeah, this is what I am, this is what I want to do?
I want to say just in a time where I started rapping at the beginning of the pandemic, and it almost felt like, is this a pastime? Is
Yeah,
this a hobby? I had some college friends at the time that inspired me to do it or to take the leap to actually try. And it kind of just felt like, like is it a hobby? Is it a pastime? Or is this something that's seasonal? Because I have a lot of things that I pick up that are seasonal for me. And I want to say just during that time, it just allowed me to come to the conclusion that, okay, this is something that I really want to pursue career wise, because it's a lot of people in the world who are artists. However, they just don't pursue it as a career.
yeah,
Being an artist and pursuing artistry as a career are two different things.
right.
So I really just had to buckle down and make that decision because in my head, it was just like, I'm not getting any older. Time doesn't wait for anyone. And I need to figure out, or I wanted to figure out, was it just a hobby or did I want to turn it into a career? And I wanted to turn it into a career.
Right.
So
Right. Look at you now, you know?
yeah, I've came a long way. And my husband has to remind me sometimes that, even though there are still things that I want to accomplish, I've came a very long way in a positive direction that
Right.
a lot of people don't get to. So
So when did you get married?
I
Have you
got
been
married
married?
in, yeah, I've been
Oh,
married a little over a year now. I got married in June of last year.
congratulations. I
Thank
didn't know. So when you said that, I was like, "Oh, wait, hold on. How old are you?"
Yeah, I'm 21.
Okay. I feel like I had some people around me recently that have just got married 2021, and it's kind of like, dang, like I guess when you know for real. I feel like a lot of people try and tell us as young people like, hold your horses, but
Yeah.
hey, they're some of the happiest people I know right now. So it's like, hey, congratulations.
Honestly, I mean, I get it. In this day and age, there's a lot that is temporary. But I didn't think I was gonna get married this young, and when I met him, I did not know that that's how it was gonna go, even that early.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're in a situation with someone and y'all prove to be to each other, who you want. I know in our case, we just didn't see the point in waiting. We're both very ambitious. We both have very big goals, and we just through our own, relationship trials and tribulations, we just both proved to each other to be trustworthy and loyal to each other. So, we just made a decision to, go all in, and that was really
I mean that's beautiful to me. Like that's really nice. I don't know. I just yeah. I guess what you know for real.
Yeah, that's really all it is to it.
How do you how has he played a part? I guess you already kind of mentioned it, but how has he? What other roles has he played in kind of helping you out with staying motivated and staying on top of making rap a career?
He's definitely helped out. I want to say in every way possible, emotionally, as a husband and as a friend. He's there for me when I have my self doubts, and he's there at every studio session, giving his opinion when I ask, and
Mm-hmm.
he's taken in, as a consumer, and giving a really just unbiased opinion. And that helps out a lot in itself. But I feel like it goes without saying to say it's very expected for someone who is my husband to be there for me
Right.
emotionally. However, a lot of people don't get that from their significant others when they're chasing something that does not immediately produce income,
Right.
but steady takes your income. At this point, that I'm in, it's not a lot about producing money.
Right.
At this point, I'm at the point to where it's just strive, 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 and stay hungry. So he's definitely backed me in that way, but also financially. There's still times where I work a regular job, and there are still times where I don't.
Yeah.
So and all of that is to go to the benefit of me to put all of my time and efforts towards music. And I'm also a college student, so
Yeah.
he definitely, anything I throw at him, we just come to an agreement about it, and he's there for me in any way that I can imagine, in any way that I've asked so far. So yeah.
Okay. What are you studying?
Entertainment. Fuck. I just entertainment. It gets just so jumbled. Entertainment recording management.
Okay, and you already studying something that's gonna help you along the way for sure.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you picked a good major.
I did, and I didn't. Initially I was a psych major. I had no clue what I wanted to go for. So, um, after the COVID semesters and things, I started doing a little more research into the school that I'm going to now, Texas Southern, and I just found that I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know y'all had that, but okay,
Hmm.
and I switched my major.
My brother's thinking about coming out there. I don't know what for, like what he's trying to major in, but like, hey,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, HBCU. I want to say I feel like they're very committed to the success of their students, and by us being, one of the largest HBCUs, we get a lot of impromptu opportunities that a lot of other schools don't get. So,
yeah, okay. Well, again, like I know you were talking about how like you chose to make rap a career. So
mhm.
what did you want to be growing up? I know you said psych major and you were like, eh. So
So growing up, the number one thing that I want to say my mom and a lot of my family members will say is, oh, I have an attitude about myself, and I guess I was just given very like dominant energy,
Period.
and my words followed it up. So a lot of people would say, oh, she needs to be a lawyer. Oh, she needs to be a judge. Oh, that's what I see for her. And so up until about middle school, I was so stuck on, yeah, I'm gonna be a lawyer.
Mm.
I'm gonna be a lawyer and I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna go to law school. I'm gonna overachieve. And I got to middle school, and I think a project prompted me to like research what would it take for the career that we chose, and instantly it was a no for me.
Damn. He was
It was
like,
a no for me.
because it's
So
like a
I
lot
want
of
to say
years, right?
a lot of years, and even when you're out of school with that profession, it's still a lot of learning. It's just
Yeah.
I just really, doing some self reflecting, I just couldn't see it for me.
Yeah.
And after that point, it was just like, okay, I got a lot of time. I'm not gonna let it stress me out. But I got to the point where I was applying for schools and I had no idea what I wanted to major in. So I just went in for something, psych was something that I was kind of vaguely interested in. So I just decided that I would just start there, knowing that I could change if I changed my mind. So
Yeah. Well, okay.
yeah. Also a chef too. I started cooking really young.
Mm.
I started cooking around like 11, 12 years old. Still like to cook. In high school I took some, basic chef classes at the community college here. So but that was an instant no for me too. I don't
Why?
like math. I like math and science. And
Oh.
once you really get into the book work part of it, there's a lot of math and science that goes into cooking. And I'm like, I'm not trying to get nobody salmonella by accident. So y'all can
No.
have it. I pack my knives up. Y'all can have
See, I didn't
it.
think it was that much math and science involved. I'm trying to learn how to cook now because I low key be struggling in the kitchen. I can't eat like sandwiches all the time, man.
Yeah. I want to say house cooking, you can stick to your basic measuring cups and, basic household measures. But when you get to the point of going to school for it and you saying you want to go to somebody's restaurant, or even run your own catering business and cooking for large amounts of people, because
Yeah.
now it's not only just the can you cook and do you know how to season, it's the do you know sanitary procedures, things of that nature, like food science itself,
Yeah.
the science behind the food. It just needs to be a lot. So I was like, yeah, nah, I don't know yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. And then shoot, I figured it out, I guess.
Do you have a favorite dish you like cooking?
My favorite, I love spaghetti. I'll cook spaghetti every day.
Yeah.
But it's about the easiest, but I like mac and cheese a lot, baked macaroni, I eat that a lot. Let me stop talking about food because I'm on a diet right now.
What? Why?
I want to shed a couple pounds. Nothing too serious, but I just want to eat better and just feel
Yeah.
better. So
Would you ever start kind of a vegetarian or like pescatarian diet?
maybe pescatarian, but vegetarian, no. It's just a lot. No, that's too much for me.
It's also
Maybe
super expensive.
yes, it's super expensive right now just to try to get your daily green and fruits and vegetable intake.
Mm-hmm.
Inflation is kicking everybody's butt.
Everybody. This
But
is crazy.
pescatarian maybe if I just really thought hard on it and really stuck to it.
Okay, I remember you saying that you're from Alabama, right? So, what was it like growing up there? Because my what is it perception of Alabama? I had a cousin that grew up there, and all we knew about her was that she was just country as heck. Like we was country, but she was country,
Sure.
and that's
Yeah.
all I know about Alabama and Roll Tide.
Well, and roll tide. Well, I want to say for me and my experience, I did leave when I was 16. So a lot of the things that I might have knew more about if I was able to stay when in that era,
Mm-hmm.
to say, be out the house more and just, I didn't learn a lot. I didn't get a lot of experience in that. However, my first 16 years of life, I'm from Birmingham, so we talk country, but it's city life.
Okay.
It was just a lot of, traditions, a lot of family time. I have a big extended family, so a lot of family time. They're big on sports, I want to say. I played t-ball, softball, volleyball. Um, yeah, a lot of, just like any other city, although I don't want to bring up our number on the most dangerous city list, but
Oh,
it
for real?
matters. Yeah, it does matter to say, I don't like shedding light on that, but it does matter, and it did affect our childhood. Um,
What number is it?
I
Like,
want it's top five.
dang.
It is top five. That affects our childhood in ways, you just be extra cautious, try to be extra safe, but honestly, it was pretty normal to me.
What?
Like you said, we grew up going to the classic, Alabama State versus Alabama A&M every year. Like you said, Roll Tide and War Eagle. Those are
What?
kind of some of the staple things.
What? Why did you? You moved to Texas, right?
Mhm.
Why'd you move at 16?
I came with my mom. It was her decision.
Okay.
We wanted more opportunity. Well, I want to say she, because at the time I wanted to stay. I was 16. I was going into my sophomore year of high school. I made varsity volleyball team for the second year in a row, and to me, that was the peak of my life.
Yeah.
And then that's how I was feeling. Like, oh, I'm having the best time of my life. But she wanted us to have better. She wanted us to have more opportunities, and a safer, striving for a safer environment.
Yeah.
So she packed up our apartment and we came here.
Even though you wanted to stay in Alabama, do you think that like how did you like how do you like Texas?
At first I didn't like it. It was a really big culture shock. And not more of environmental, but more of socially.
Mhm.
Um,
How so?
there were just, in Birmingham, it was just like it was all black people for one.
Yeah.
You seen white people, it wasn't surprising. You seen Hispanic people, one or two, but 9 times out of 10, your entire social structure is black people. So going to a whole, 4 or 5 states away overnight, and you're in school and the next month and you're seeing white people be the predominant race,
Yeah.
plenty Hispanics, plenty mixed race, people, people from the islands, and it's just a big culture shock, and everybody operates different.
Yeah.
Everybody talks different. The body language is even different. Um, and also growing up, like the kids, I realized this too. A lot in my community, it was just like bullying is very prevalent. It's just not looked at as bullying.
You talking
You
about like in
know,
Texas?
no, in Birmingham,
Oh, okay.
like like when I grew up and I realized what bullying actually was, I'm like, damn, was I bullied?
Yeah.
It's a lot of shit talking. A lot of the kids were very materialistic. Like you come down here, somebody gonna show up to school in some cowboy boots and a cowboy hat. And somebody else might have on J's and designer, and somebody else might have on roughed up Vans and a holy t-shirt. And you're not gonna get cracked on for it. You're not gonna get talked
Yeah.
about for it. Everybody lets everybody embrace their own identity. But down there,
No.
if you don't have on what they feel like is socially acceptable, your ass getting talked about.
Damn.
You know, to the point to where it make you not want to come to school. And I feel like me and then it wasn't as it didn't make me feel as sensitive then because it just felt like that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But coming out here and just seeing different walks of people, people dress different, people talk different, and people got their own cliques, and everybody just respects that allowing people to feel comfortable in their space.
Right.
It wasn't a lot of that. So it was just like, okay, this is refreshing. It's different, but it's refreshing, and I see the safeness in it,
Yeah.
from a social standpoint.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that was really, really different. And I liked it. I never liked being at school, and because I wasn't a kid who grew up with J's and the most expensive stuff on.
Right. Me neither.
So I was like, damn, it make me feel good that I can go to school and laugh at a joke and a motherfucker not look at me like, I know you ain't talking with your busted ass shoes on.
Right.
Like it could be something so left field. And next thing you know, you getting ran out the lunchroom because you ain't got on the most expensive clothes. I'm like, how does that translate to us as kids? We not working,
Right. We no,
you
we don't
know?
got the money.
You get what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, like I didn't know it was you get talked about for not being blessed enough to have that stuff, but I was raised to the point where it was just like, as long as I got clothes on my back and I can take a shower every night and I got lights to flick on and off, that was the ultimate blessing. So,
Right.
that's all I was worried about.
No, I definitely grew up the same way, and it's funny that like you have that perception of Texas just because like, I mean, I've been here all my life, and even though like
Hmm.
there definitely were some moments where like people did talk shit, but
Yeah.
looking back on it too, it's also like I see other people talk about where they came from, and Texas isn't that bad in
Yeah.
that way. Like I never got bullied to the point of somebody wanting to hurt me. Nothing like
Yeah.
that. It was just kind of
Yeah.
like little slick shit here and there. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a constant thing. And like
Yeah.
I just remember walking around and seeing like different people from all walks of life before I started embracing who I was and being like, damn, like that's so cool. And like
Yeah.
nobody really saying that much besides like that's it.
Right.
It wasn't
Because
nothing big.
a lot of the way that I came here and like, I'm like, dang, like a lot of the ways that people are dressing and um to say like let's talk like
Yeah.
the goth, aesthetic. I only seen shit like that on TV.
Yeah.
For somebody to come to school all black boots and piercings and tattoos or still wearing mesh on your hands and that's fine. In my head, I'm like, that's so fine. If that's how they want to dress, that's how they want to dress. But back at home, I only seen shit like that on TV.
Yeah.
But when I came here, and it was talked about there, like that shit lame. That's weird. That was the word. It's weird. It's uncomfortable. That's wrong. And but here, it was everything.
Yeah.
Like even just walking, even my first day, finding out that the school I went to was an open campus. You can leave for lunch. That would never be a thing down there. Like the amount of freedom that was given socially, structure wise, it was very, very refreshing. And me being the mature teenager that I appreciated it.
Right.
I really did. Looking back, it was like Texas was really, really a good move. For my future.
Yeah.
So I as I got older, I learned to appreciate the move to Texas, and I'm fine where I'm at. I don't see if I was to move somewhere else, I'd probably go to California. My dad's there now and he loves it, so I might move to California in the next couple of years. But other than that, I'm okay where I'm at.
Yeah. I try and think about different places I would want to live. And even though I would like to get out of Texas to go see what's out there, I wouldn't mind coming back. Like, I like
Yeah.
Texas for the most part.
But it feels like Texas is really just a nice all around state. As far as like city to city goes, because it's like, if you want some big city life, you can go to Houston. If you want kind of like a kind of like a Sex in the City feel life, it feels like you can go to Austin for that.
Yeah,
To say you can get your corporate meetings done in the morning and then go to Sixth Street at night and get you a drink.
yeah,
It just, and San Antonio is kind of like you want to have a little romantic city life. Go to San Antonio, go and get your little scroll down the Riverwalk.
yeah.
It's like you want to get a little more country, take your ass to El Paso. It just feel like it's
Right.
a nice balanced state. So I don't know, shit. I might do a little moving around Texas before I go.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been thinking about Houston. Houston has become a really good. Well, it's Houston has always been rich in music and art,
Right.
but it's like just becoming even more and more evident. I have a friend that moved out there for school and has become like a pretty big DJ out there, and it's just really nice to
Mm-hmm.
see that. And then also the DJ that was DJing when you performed for Pixie Pound, they moved from Memphis to Houston, and they love it.
Wow.
So it's pretty crazy. Like, I don't know, Houston might be the move at some point. I used to live there at one point, so I don't think it would be too bad.
Too bad, yeah. I thought about moving to Houston full time because I'm out there for school.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, the only thing that's keeping me from moving to Houston full time is I don't want a really fast city life.
Yeah.
It's a little too fast for my liking right now because I just I think for one, it's because once I get to the point to where I have enough money to pay for convenience in every aspect of my life, then it won't matter. But as of
Right.
right now, I don't like sitting in no traffic. I don't like waiting no long lines for no food. Um, I don't have thousands of dollars to pay to spend on rent to live downtown right now for convenience. But it's like once I get to that point to where I can just pay for convenience in every aspect, then I think it'll be easy.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
if you can't just shed out money here and there, oh, you go do my dry cleaning, you do my fucking laundry, you go my grocery shopping, I'll order food out every day if I want to, and it won't hurt me. I'm gonna live downtown because it's close to the mall. Like, until I can just start throwing money at everything for convenience, I'm gonna just stay where I'm at right now.
Right. Hmm. Well, then I guess. Well, would you ever try out Atlanta? Cause I heard Atlanta is fast too, like way
It
more
is.
fast though.
It is. I've been to Atlanta a couple times. Living in Birmingham is only 2 hours away from there. So
Oh.
I kind of experienced it when I was younger, but I haven't been back since I've been an adult. So I
Mm-hmm.
might have to go. I might have to go back and get that feeling of how is it as an adult
Yeah.
to give a good opinion on that. But I don't think it'll be. I don't think. I want to say it might be as fast as Houston, but Houston just big. Like it's huge.
Humongous. People say they live in Houston and then be in Sugarland. Like
You
what?
get what I'm saying? I had to tell my husband that the other day. I'm like, babe, somebody address can say Houston. And like you can have two people. One person address can say Houston and the other person address can say Houston. And they can be 40 minutes away from each other.
Mm-mm.
Like it's nothing to play with. Like you need to know where you at.
For real.
Like where is you at? You on the south side or you on the north side? Like where's you at?
Yeah. No. Mm-mm. I wouldn't mind visiting again though, but that is definitely nah. That's
Yeah.
too much.
I go a
That's too
lot
big.
though. I'm there a lot for school. My school sits in the middle of third ward, so
Mm.
it's a lot, right there. I don't really have to go and venture out too much, but when I do, I be like, child, let me get out this traffic.
So I can't remember what your answer was the last time I asked you, but what does your writing process include of? Like, I do you freestyle? Do you mainly write before you get on a track? Like, what do you do?
I write mostly. I want to say right now, I'm not as comfortable freestyling, I think,
Mm-hmm.
as I should be. But I'm not gonna put myself on the timeline with things like that because everybody has their strong suits.
Right.
I feel like I write a lot. most, if not all, of my songs are written to some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but however, I don't have a writer.
Right.
I know a lot of people say that they're a writer, and it's okay to say you write, but I know a lot of people right now, it's more acceptable as a rapper to have writers or a team of writers when you're working on an album or, a project or something. And I can honestly and truthfully say to date, I've written all of my music, and that's how I plan to continue to ride out my career, is to continue writing all of my music.
No, I definitely think that's the way to go too, because I feel like music, like at least like older music, and I'm sure everybody like had writers too, but I feel like it was more notable and more like a thing to be proud of. It was like, yeah, I wrote this. And I feel
Yeah,
like now it's a little easier once you get on, because it's like, okay, well, now I can have this team of writers, and it's not me and my creativity that's
right.
pushing me further. It's so and so and so and so and so and so's.
And don't get me wrong, I understand, like, um once you get to that point of having a label backing, sometimes it's the label. Sometimes they're not pleased with what you're writing, and you
Right,
didn't already sign that contract. So there, at this point, it comes to a legal standpoint, not just a creative standpoint, to say, well, if they don't like what I'm pushing out, their I have to put my process on hold and give their process a try, because I got deadlines to meet. I got
right,
money to make. I got to put this out. It got to hit a certain amount, a number on the charts. Got to make this amount of money. And no, no, not to those people who are in those situations, but I'm
right.
just not in that situation. So right now, I can pride myself on writing, because it took a lot of work mentally for me to get to the point to where I can narrate what I'm seeing from my perspective.
Yeah,
That is a hard skill to develop.
yeah,
And I take pride in it because I worked so hard on it. You know, and not to say that if somebody comes to me with a hook and say, "Oh, can you use this hook?" If I like the hook, and I'm hell yeah, I'll probably write a verse to it and sing the hook and credit you for the hook you wrote.
right.
Stuff like that is fine. But to say somebody will just be writing the whole 16 for me, or writing the whole song for me, and I just deliver it, you know, probably not right now.
Yeah, understandable.
Probably not. You know, so.
Hey,
And I've taken I've written for someone already. Um, so I've already, put my foot in the water as far as
right.
songwriting. So
How do you get into songwriting for other people? Because I've definitely thought about that as not necessarily a set career path, but something that like
I'm
can
gonna get
get you in.
I wanna say I'm not sure how you would go about pitching
Mm-hmm.
your original songs, like just right off the bat to say, okay, is there a system to go through to pitch your songs? I'm not really sure about that. The way that it came to me was a producer I worked with. Um, he was brought some opportunities that he felt like I would shine really good at as a writer,
Mm-hmm.
because he knows I write all of my music, and I pitched some things that way, just and that's networking
Yeah.
basically. You know, if if something falls in your lap type thing. And also, um, another way I wrote for someone is just someone I know personally who also works on music.
Yeah.
They can't, they're getting into them as an artist, and they had a really good idea, but like I said, couldn't do it justice as far as the narrating part, putting the words on paper to accurately describe the story that they're trying to tell.
Right.
So I just aided in that process of just, putting the words to the story.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So performance wise, like how I know you've been doing shows. I don't know how long have you been doing shows, one, and then two, um what has your favorite show you've done, like what has, yeah, what has been your favorite show so far?
And so I've been performing I want to say about the whole 2 years I've been rapping. My first show was sometime in probably like late 2020. I know for a solid the last year solid I've been performing. Um, and my favorite show to date would be have to be opening up for Uno the Activist at
Oh, that's
Empire.
dope. What was that
That
experience like?
honestly and I'm gonna say Pixie Pound was two, but I'm gonna tell you why Pixie Pound is two. Um, so performing at Empire for that show, it was just an overwhelming amount of attention from the audience. It was they just really really interacted with me and accepted me from the beginning of my show to the end. And that was the first time, I got my first encore.
That's amazing.
It was just, to have that early and to be able to say that it actually happened. And I'm glad that I documented that show. I'm so glad I did, because that was the first time where I actually felt like, I want to say, I don't want to say a celebrity. I don't want to say actually felt like an artist, but that's the first time that I actually felt truly accepted for the work that I was putting out
Yeah.
to a group of people. Just that undeniable, oh my, like they like this,
Yeah.
they like this. It felt really really good. It was a good show from start to end. The Empire as a venue, they were very respectful of my time. They were respectful for me, to me as an artist and as a human. They were respectful to everyone, that I brought with me, my team. It was just a all around from every aspect of that process of landing the show, rehearsal, getting there after. It was just amazing. So the reason why I put Pixie for two is because it was really good. Y'all booked me. Y'all took my price for what it was. Y'all didn't try to lowball me. Y'all respected me. But the only reason Pixie is two is because I left that show hot as fuck.
Yeah, that venue was
That's the only
insane.
reason. I swear to God, that's the only reason Pixie two. It's just because I left that show drenched. However, I just don't like being hot. I just hate being hot.
Understandable.
However, that was not an attest to you guys on a personal level. I feel
Right.
like when it came to the human beings that were putting on the show, everything was perfect.
I'm
So
glad. I'm glad. I'm very proud of Nishi and Lana for how they've been throwing these shows and executing them. We got one. It feels like there's been some like back to back to back, and like they are some hard working women. So I'm really glad that you have that perception of Pixie Pound, because we we're trying to make sure that these shows are like everybody feels safe, everybody feels loved, putting on a good
right.
time. And honestly, at this point, I feel like they've done a great job of getting that. The whole team, like, all done a great job of keeping everybody.
Definitely. And I feel like it just goes to show, to say, when you have I'm a young person, and I know those are other young people, breaking into the industry in their own way.
Right.
To say we're working hand in hand. Y'all providing opportunities, I'm providing the music. So just to see that there are other young people who are just not only taking advantage of, okay, yeah, you can be an artist, but in what other ways does the music industry need Black people?
Right.
And the industry, as far as artists and creatives go, we need outlets to showcase our music.
Right.
And an unbiased way, an unbiased environments. You know, the whole For Us By Us, y'all are definitely, putting on the map for that.
Yeah.
And I definitely appreciate, being in that space, in the place that I am right now.
Yeah.
It really was another push for me. It was a really, really big push for me. in my career and for my music. It broadened my audience, you know, and I'm just so grateful for it. And I will continue to support Pixie Pound, you know,
Right.
because that's how you make long lasting, you know, relationships in the industry. You know, somebody do good by you, you do good by them, and y'all just keep supporting each other, and hopefully everybody just come up.
Yeah. Shit, we hoping so.
I know. I
Hope
see
so.
y'all working hard though. Like I still follow the Pixie Pound page. I still follow all of y'all, and I'm gonna continue to because it's hard out here to just meet people who are genuine, you know, who show genuine support, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I feel like when a genuine person meets other genuine people, it needs to stay there if it can,
Yeah.
because it's just so hard out here for everybody to just you know create a core fan base or just receive genuine support. Period.
Right. Yeah. Gotta stick together. Especially too, like besides the fact that it's like everybody I feel like is very genuine, but like again, we're all black women. Like
Black
we
women,
all need to
yes.
stick together. It's already hard enough.
It is. It's hard enough. You know, it's hard enough. Like not to. It's hard enough within our own race with
Right.
men. You know, and that's not even starting with the other races. So it's hard enough, like you said.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna continue to be. I'm gonna be one of the first people that tune into the dang new project. I'm
For
excited
sure.
to hear it. I'm excited to see what you've been working on. Is it gonna be more of like? Do you think this project is more of a conceptual album?
Um, so I want to say the only concept you can take from it is that, um, like I said earlier, it's just I just want to rap.
Yeah.
Um, I just want to rap. Like I really want people to hear it and be like, okay, no really reading in between the lines. I'm saying everything that I want to say for face value. Just, you know, damn, like she just rapping.
So this is like a
You know?
reintroduction.
It is. I want to say it is. Like I said, it's a moment for me to show where I am in real time.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's talent is evolving day by day, and you know, even minute by minute. You know, I can make a song an hour from now and come back and write some an hour later that I feel like is harder than what I just wrote.
Right.
So I just want to just let people know, like, hey, I'm here and I'm really here. You know, it's not a pastime. It's not a, oh, I used to rap when I was 20. Yeah, I used to rap. No,
Yeah.
like,
No.
you know, no, I'm here. That's the statement I want to make, and I just want people to take from that to say, um, take the time to just give yourself time to figure out who you are as a person and what you want to say. You know, take your time to tell your story in a way that nobody else can or will. You know,
Yeah.
definitely tell your side of the story of things that's going on in your life. You know, like definitely tell your perspective, but don't just feel like you have to rush it just because you want to give out a response. You know, let your response be the last thing you say because it's all you have to say.
Right. Right.
That's what I want this next project to do.
I'm excited. I'm ready to hear it. I'm gonna be tuning in immediately. So I'm so glad that you were open to coming back and talking to me after some
Definitely.
time. You're definitely one of my favorite people to interview. I told you
Thank
already.
you.
My first impression of you was like, oh, this she's it. Like you were it. You stomped on that stage and you delivered. Like I was like, yeah, no, this can't be the last time I see her. But yeah, okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
I'm
you for having me.
excited again to see what you do in the future. And this won't be the last time we'll be talking.